yours for as little as 75 cents per day. Call us at Beacon or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
Imagine having the home of your dreams. Imagine investing in that piece of property you can call your own. Imagine finally doing that home improvement project you've always been thinking about. It's time to stop imagining and start doing. Let the GUT Credit Union help you take the first step with fantastic rates, affordable repayments, and reduced legal fees. Make the move. Get better terms on your mortgage. Use your home equity to make those dreams a reality. Act now. There's really no place like home. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Good evening and welcome to the GBN television news for Thursday, October 21st, 2021. Coming up in the news this evening, SGU warns protesting employees that they could face termination by January 2022. Tourism Minister said tourists will enjoy bubble tours, but the unvaccinated Grenadian site operators will not benefit. COVID Committee Chairman Bert Braffith confirms resignation, but keeps the reason private. Terry Forrester throws his hat in the ring and will contest the position of political leader of the National Democratic Congress. Coming up around the globe, negotiations continue over kidnapped U.S.-based missionaries in Haiti. Internationally, the World Health Organization warns the COVID-19 pandemic will drag on deep into 2022. Coming up later in sports, West Indies beaten by Afghanistan by 56 runs in their final men's T20 World Cup warm-up game in Dubai. We'll bring you the details of these and other stories straight after this.
Are you a small business and would like your business to grow? Do you have an event, products or services that people should know about? Be wise. Advertise. Book your spot on GBN Shopping Guide. Be part of Grenada's biggest advertising medium, the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Call our sales department now on 440-2446 or 440-3033 or GBN plus the number sign. Email us at sales@gbn.gd. Special conditions apply.
Thanks for joining us with the news in detail. I am Blossom Alexis Welsh. Labour Commissioner Cyrus Griffith is expected to give a clear directive on Grenada's first major challenge to mandatory COVID-19 vaccination by an employer in 2 weeks. The opposition parties are St. George's University and protesting workers at the institution represented by the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union.
Labour Commissioner Cyrus Griffith on Wednesday, following a conciliation meeting in an attempt to resolve the dispute between GTAU and SGU involving the university's insistence on mandatory vaccination, has indicated that he will make recommendations in 2 weeks. In a statement issued by TAU on Thursday, the union said the SGU team, led by local corporate lawyer Deacon Mitchell, served notice that if the protesting workers do not meet the demand by SGU to inform of the decision to be vaccinated or not vaccinated by tomorrow, Friday, their services will be terminated by January 2022. The union team, led by President General Andre Lewis, reiterated its position that there must be an exemption for breastfeeding mothers, religious beliefs, and severance payment consistent with the Union Agreement and Employment Act for workers who have stated they have no interest in being vaccinated. Tau said the union pointed out in the meeting that it is improper to ask the workers to make a decision by Friday without knowing the decision of the Labour Commissioner, which will not come before the end of this month. The union statement states that the dispute continues to escalate as the affected workers have received no pay since June 2021, while SGUs claim that workers who refuse to be vaccinated have abandoned their jobs and as a result are not entitled to compensation for their years of service. GBN sought a response from SGU and was told that the outcome of the meeting must first be reviewed before a response can be given to the media. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
And we are now joined live by President General of the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union, Andre Lewis, who is on the phone. Good night, Andre, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good night to you, GBN. Good night to your listeners to your public.
All right, so my first question, Andre, after listening to that story, one of the first things that stood out to me is the employees are being asked to get vaccinated before the commissioner actually shares his decision, his ruling. How can that be? How is that possible?
Well, and that's the big issue. It is not just a matter of getting vaccinated before, and that was the outstanding issue. Remember, we maintain that the workers have a right to determine whether they want to be vaccinated or not. We are against mandatory vaccination. The issue here is, which is significant for the working people of Grenada, is that in the case where the school or any employer has maintained that one must be vaccinated to continue employment, and you give a deadline that if this does not happen, then you will no longer be employed. The issue of severance pay comes into play. The school is saying that they will not be paying any termination allowance, they will not be paying any severance pay. And that is contrary to good industrial practices. This is contrary to the recommendations of the International Labour Organization, which has recommended that in the event that the parties are not able to find a solution to the aspect of being vaccinated, where one has the past company, then the aspect of severance pay or termination allowance must come into play. This is a case where workers have given years of service, some cases 30-something years, 20-something years, and you have brought in a new condition. The condition was never part of the terms and conditions of employment.
So with bringing on this new condition, what sort of precedent do you think this could set for other employees and employers?
Well, the issue is here, if we want to reach mutual settlement, you mandated I take the vaccine, I say I'm not taking the vaccine, they say I cannot come on the compound, I say, okay, look, here what? Let's call it a day. Or you said that, look, if by X date you have not indicated that you will take it, you'll be terminated. This is no fault of mine. And therefore, because of the condition that you have created, you ought to pay me for my years of service. And that's dangerous. Totally dangerous. This is not a case of insisting that you must be vaccinated. But this is beyond that. This is where the worker is saying, look, I will not want to be vaccinated for whatever reason. And the employer saying that, look, I will not allow you to come to my compound. We can keep fighting this battle forever. We can go different levels of the fight. But you have drawn a line as the employer to say that, look, you will no longer be employed. And at the same time, refusing to compensate me for my years of service. That's dangerous, and that's wicked. Right? That's punitive.
So with the deadline,
and that is designed to try to crush the will of the working class.
So with the deadline for the workers to get vaccinated being tomorrow, what does that mean for the workers? Have they started to wane in their stance? Are they still resolute? Are they getting scared? What's the atmosphere like with the unvaccinated workers at SGU?
Well, let me put it this way. The workers are resolute in terms of their belief. And we are currently before the Labour Commissioner, who is expected to make a recommendation within 2 weeks. But obviously, with this mandate put out by the school, the human nature of the worker must be concerned. But they are strong in their resolution, and there's a settlement, you know. For the workers who wish to be paid for their years of service, what the school pays them for the years of service, that's the end of the matter. And it is not a question of affordability. The school could afford to pay that money, whatever it is. So there's a wider issue as it relates to who is an ordinary worker, ordinary Grenadian. They say, look, I am holding on to my belief that I'm not going to take the vaccine. What I know, I'm not yet in a position to do that. And the school is saying, well, look, you have to go. And the worker is saying, together with the union, well, look, let us reach a settlement, just pay me for my years as well. I call that judge. But the school is insistent that there is no payment that will be made. And I'm saying, contrary to the recommendations and advice given by the International Labour Organization, that is a tripartite arrangement, right? That is made up of government, private sector, and the labor movement. And that's an international body. And even locally here, industrial relations will call for that understanding.
And finally,
this is not a case where the workers are saying, look, take me back to work. Obviously, they want to continue to work. They want to continue to work, but you are saying you have been dismissed. But there are the group of workers that are saying, look, well, pay me for my years of service.
And finally, can SGU, the management at SGU, be asked to postpone this deadline until at least the Labour Commissioner comes with his decision, whether it's by the union or even the Labour Commissioner himself?
But we made that request, and the company was absolutely clear that they will not be waiting on any recommendation from the Labour Commissioner. They will go ahead and institute what they want to institute. So it makes a mockery of our industrial relations practices, and it speaks about the level of disrespect, most likely that is shown to the country and its institutions. But the matter is before the Ministry of Labour, and certainly the recommendation of the Ministry of Labour at the level of the Labour Commission can be an influencing factor for the consideration of the workers. We think that that is a reasonable position from an industrial relations point of view. But that's the position of the school, and we are waiting the recommendation of the Labour Commissioner. But the way school handles the unvaccinated workers in the quest for severance, those who wish to be, those that will be terminated, will be a clear indication of how the school views our country and our institution. And the school has an opportunity to demonstrate that while it argues that it is trying to keep its compound safe, but at the same time it will recognize the right of the worker to not wish to be vaccinated, and where the request is made of the school, or the instructions of the school, or the decision of the school is to terminate, then you pay the workers for the years of service and you call a judge. Even in the case of the workers who have annual vacation leave and has made a request for the annual vacation leave while the matter is outstanding, the school is refusing to grant them the annual vacation leave, contrary to what the Labour movement.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lewis. We have to cut it here short, but of course we will continue to follow this developing story as we await the decision by the Labour Commissioner and to see what else happens with this latest development. So thank you for joining us and appreciate it. Have a good night. All right, moving right along. Giving cruise ship visitors an experience that is COVID-19 compliant and enjoyable is one of the latest initiatives of the Tourism Ministry via the Grenada Tourism Authority. While not mandating vaccination for service providers who interact with these visitors, it is being a requirement to operate. Gerard Joseph has that story.
As the cruise ship season is expected to reopen in November, individuals and entities are now required to be fully vaccinated in order to obtain a license to operate. Tourism Minister Clarice Modest-Cowen still maintains that tourism service providers are not being mandated to be fully vaccinated.
And therefore, we've been working with all of those service providers, all of those who work in the industry, to encourage them, strongly encourage them to get vaccinated.
GBN visited several vendors and taxi operators to get a response on the new vaccination requirements.
For we around here, we don't make up in mind of taking any vaccine, so they had to work with us. Something had to happen. We're selling for tourists more than 30-something years, and they can't just come and tell us take vaccine. They can't make things mandatory to people.
Well, they say it's not mandatory, however, they say for you to get.
Well, not mandatory, so I'm not free to take it. So I'm free not to take it because I don't need it. I will drink bush. I'm good.
This is what I do for a living. This is my income from ever since. It's a lot of years I have been doing this. So, I mean, it's my mind to make up if I want to take it or not. And if I don't want to take it, there could be a problem.
Have they had any discussion with you guys?
They didn't have none with us in Expanded Mall, but they did with Ghanaians, and Ghanaians people said no. So we're not taking vaccine to sell for tourists. We is good. We have sanitizer, we have everything. We have water, we have soap, we have things to use. But we don't need vaccine.
Minister Modest-Cowen says this requirement came as a result of the Chief Medical Officer insisting that visitors disembarking from cruise ships must be fully vaccinated. The tourism minister impresses that the cruise ships then requested Grenada to require vendors, taxi operators, and attraction sites employees to be fully vaccinated themselves.
The attraction sites are being inspected by the GTA, and they are going to be certified based on that, because we have to send that information back to the cruise ship to let them know which are the sites that are acceptable sites for the tours. Initially, we are looking at what we call bubble tours, so that the people in small groups, the visitors, will be escorted directly to a site, a location, an attraction, where a booking has been made and preparation has been made to receive these people.
One of the stakeholders tells GBN that they have been vaccinated since May and await the reopening of the cruise industry, however, is concerned with parts of the regulations that restrict profits. From one of the most popular tourist attraction sites in Grenada, I am Gerard Joseph, reporting for GBN News.
Thank you, Gerard. Chairman of the COVID-19 Advisory Committee, Dr. Bert Braffett, has confirmed his resignation from that position, but the reason for doing so he chooses to keep to himself.
After 1 year and 3 months serving as chairman of the COVID Advisory Committee, Dr. Bert Braffett called it quits. Although not disclosing his rationale, Braffett confirmed his resignation to GBN during an exclusive interview Thursday.
I am still serving for another few days as chairperson of the COVID Health Subcommittee. I have resigned as chairperson of the committee. But what I can say is this, that I have viewed COVID as a war that we are fighting. I viewed it, and this goes back from January last year. I recognize that we were in for major issues, albeit I've been surprised and still, although I was aware of the ramifications, I still be surprised by the extent to which these types of pandemics can affect the country. My focus has been totally on trying to help in any way I can.
According to the medical practitioner, the structure of the committee going forward is solely a government's decision. However, he vowed to continue service to the committee as they forge towards the eradication of the coronavirus.
The efforts are going to continue unabated in terms of assisting and encouraging people to go along the right path. For example, getting vaccinated.
He spoke of areas that he believes are of critical importance.
So one of the things that we have to look carefully at is how future variants coming up or future surges in other countries, how we handle that. That is going to be critical as well. If you see a surge in a given country, you are getting lots of people coming in. Even any people coming in from that particular country, we need to set up mechanisms to be sure that we limit these folk from being able to off anyone from coming in and bringing in perhaps new variants.
Chrislina John, GBN News.
This is the GBN Evening News. Still to come, corporate lawyer Deacon Mitchell steps onto the political platform with Terence Forrester seeking leadership of the NDC. The details next.
Dear customers, as we do our part to limit the impact of COVID-19 in Grenada, Grenlec remains committed to providing a service you can depend on. And in these challenging times, we appreciate your effort to keep your account current. Our 24-hour mobile and online services are great for convenience and maintaining social distance. Call 237 for 24-hour bill balances or to report faults and emergencies. Pay your bills online with internet banking, available with Republic, First Caribbean, and Grenada Cooperative Bank. For other queries, email customer support at grenlec.com. Together, we can keep each other safe. Together, we will smile again.
Hassle-free loans for your every need. Cards have you covered, best believe. Cards ready, cash is for everyone. Not to worry, fast approval. Hurry up and come. We got it all, we on the go. Cards ready, cash, you already know. We got it all, we on the go. Cards ready, cash, always ready when you're ready, let's go.
Cards ready, cash, ready when you are.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Feed babies well after an emergency or disaster. Infants 6 months and older need clean, safe, complementary foods along with breast milk to meet their nutrient needs. Continue to breastfeed while gradually introducing foods one at a time from various food groups. A message from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council in collaboration with the Ministry of Health with support from the Pan American Health Organization.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact Ariza Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform. Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Free delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank. Republic Bank remains committed to providing all its valued customers with high quality and personalized service in a safe and comfortable environment. In order to maintain COVID-19 protocols while serving you, it has become necessary to arrange an appointment with your relationship officer or the customer service representative at your branch for the following products and services: loans, overdrafts, credit cards, new accounts to include savings, checking, certificate of deposit, and foreign currency, reactivation of dormant accounts, and private banking for existing customers only. You may also log on to our website, complete the application form for the service required, and submit via email to your specific branch. Requests for appointment can also be emailed to customerservice@republicgrenada.com or via private message on our Facebook page. For private banking service, kindly contact your specific branch via telephone. We look forward to welcoming you.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back to the news. In 10 days, one of the biggest political parties in Grenada will elect its next leader. Two of the men putting themselves up for the post are no stranger to the political arena, while the other is a newcomer.
Former Public Relations Officer of the new National Party, Terry Forrester, has added his hat to the ring and will vie to become the new political leader of the main opposition National Democratic Congress. The party is scheduled to elect a new national executive on October 31st.
Last night I was part of a presentation which the party convened so that interested persons for various offices can, make a presentation to delegates and supporters. And I may add, this is something very, very new. I have never experienced this in the many years I served with the NNP, and this is democracy at its best, giving an opportunity to the party support base, to the leadership, to delegates, to probe and question interested persons in high-level positions like political leader, deputy, etc.
Forrester, who publicly disassociated himself from the ruling NNP in 2017, joins corporate lawyer Deacon Mitchell and businessman Philip Telesford as contenders for the top post.
It's 38 years to the day since the 19th of October 1983. And we need only compare the strides made between, for example, 1979 and 1983, and the strides made by Grenada since 1983 to recognize that we are at a crossroad and that we need to pivot Grenada in a direction that enables the sustained and wholesome development of our citizens. And therefore, I join the National Democratic Congress as the National Democratic Congress intends to do just that. That is to put the people of Grenada first.
According to reports coming from the party's headquarters, the position of deputy political leader will be contested by acting political leader Adrian Posueda Thomas, current PRO Claudette Joseph, and economist Lennox Andrews. The theme for the NDC convention is "There is no rebuilding without you and I." There will not be a central location because of the physical distancing requirement in the COVID-19 regulations, but members will be participating and voting via video conferencing in 10 days. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
3 Grenadians and 1 national from Trinidad and Tobago were charged for trafficking 9 kilograms of cocaine discovered in Marquis, St. Andrew in August, and they will return to court on Friday for sentencing.
Lyndon Francis, Raheem Francis, and Rondell Rogers are fishermen of Subi, St. Andrew, and Cordell Douglas, a national of Trinidad and Tobago, were arrested and charged on August 6, 2021, following the discovery of 9 kilograms of cocaine at Marquis, St. Andrew. They all pled guilty to their charges of trafficking in a controlled drug, while Douglas pled guilty to his additional charge of entering the state without the consent of an immigration officer. They were remanded to Her Majesty's prison until tomorrow, Friday, when they are scheduled to return to court for sentencing. Yakuba Toussaint, 37 years, a farmer of Riversally, St. Patrick, was subsequently charged for trafficking in a controlled drug and conspiracy to trafficking in a controlled drug in connection with the said seizure. Toussaint was granted bail in the amount of $125,000 with two sureties and is scheduled to reappear in court on Friday. In an unrelated matter, Yakuba Toussaint was arrested and charged on Wednesday following the discovery of 3 packages of genetically modified cannabis hidden inside a washing machine and compartment that was imported by Toussaint. He was granted bail in the amount of $20,000 with one surety and scheduled to reappear in court on December 7th. Chrislina John, GBN News.
Meanwhile, the Royal Grenada Police Force is seeking the assistance of the general public in locating Michael Brown, a 78-year-old resident of the Hilarion home in Mount Craven, St. Patrick. Mr. Brown was last seen wearing a boxer briefs and a maroon T-shirt. He is described as being 5 feet 8 inches in height, medium build, and brown in complexion. Anyone seeing Michael Brown or has any information about his whereabouts is asked to contact the Cites Police Station on 442-9224, Police Emergency 911, Police Hotline 444-1958, or the nearest police station. And it's that time of the night where we bring you health updates. For this week's GBN Health Edition, Krista Campbell zeroes in on COVID-19 initiatives and support systems currently available to the Grenadian public.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grandans, Victoria Street, Bengal, and Central Deputy Street, Guelph. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
For the past year and a half, Grenada and the rest of the world witnessed the rampage of the COVID-19 virus as health systems were overburdened, economic activities disrupted, and lives were lost. In the wake of these COVID-19 fallouts, several Grenadians in the diaspora, organizations, and health teams provided support to the Grenadian public. Representatives from the diaspora as well as community groups gave an update on COVID initiatives and the support systems currently available to the Grenadian public.
As a psychiatrist, I do general and adolescent and general child and adolescent psychiatry. And so as a psychiatrist, my part of the whole thing is to help with the mental health response. But the organization itself has raised money through a good bit of money through GoFundMe, as well as collecting donations of PPE and other medical supplies for Grenada as well. But in terms of the mental health response, my responsibility, along with the others who are working with me, is to help Grenadian psychologists and psychiatrists both be able to see a greater number of patients in a greater period of time than would otherwise be possible. And so what we're doing is working with the Ministry of Social Development in order to provide, to try to make telemedicine, telepsychiatry available at district offices and hopefully even eventually in the smaller offices or surgeries throughout the parishes so that it's accessible to everybody. I think at the end of the day, the main mission is for people to understand that it's okay to not be okay, that it's normal to be somewhat stressed during this time, and this is not a good time to sort of take it on the chin and pretend that everything's okay, but rather to reach out and get help when you need it, because you will find that it's there.
To further streamline the procurement process of personal protective equipment and other supplies, the government of Grenada developed the COVID-19 Response Support Fund. The fund gives Grenadians, friends of Grenada, and organizations across the region the opportunity to support and partner with the Grenadian people through donations in the fight against COVID-19. For this week's Health Update, I am Krista Campbell reporting.
And now we turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Rena Pear-Thomas has been looking around the platforms.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz Report.
October is the month set aside to celebrate the lives of senior citizens. However, the advanced in age shamefully continue to be the targets of predators. GBN brought to you yet another story of a disabled elderly man who was attacked by a family member for fruits he picked up in the family land. You, our online audience, took to the comment section to air your views on the attack. Raphael Barker said, "We all seem to be jumping on the police back as though it's the police that attacked the old man in his home. His own flesh and blood. Doing that to him, partially disabled? Rather shameful." Sabrina Mona commented, "Woe be unto anyone who harm an elderly, especially one with physical disability. God sits down high and look at us down low. Remember that." Glennis Clark pointed out the police needed to act quickly, like when they're going for drugs. "Look at the video. My heart hurts." Becca Dell said, "Up to now, nothing cannot be done. Say drugs or vaccine and see the quick response. Elderly ain't have no word, I guess." Blossom Deganis commented, "This is a month of the elderly. Please, let us love and cherish them, not abuse them." That's the buzz for now. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
Thank you, Rena. Still ahead, CIBC First Caribbean International Bank commemorates its 100th anniversary by investing in the environment. More news is next.
Let's get tough on breed your larceny. It will destroy our economy. Larceny threatens our food security. Can hurt us locally, hurt us globally. To all the buyers, ask for license from all produce sellers. To all people, 300 for police for them thieving fellas. To all the farmers, please don't steal produce from your brother. Then you're selling to traffickers, hotels and street vendors. Nah, man. Let's do all we can to stop radio larceny. New vigilance, new laws, and a tough judiciary. Stop Grenada's organized business crime. It's time.
To report pre-deal larceny, call 300.
We are all essential in the fight against COVID-19.
At Courts, we're doing our part and we encourage you to stay at home, stay safe, and shop online at www.shopcourts.com.
For added convenience, our Courts online customers will receive free delivery and get up to 20% off televisions, appliances, and homewares. Plus, if you shop with Ready Finance, you will pay nothing down for 60 days. Now, you can stay home, shop online, and save.
Remember, do the essential. Wear a mask, wash your hands, practice social distancing, stop the spread.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
Effective Monday, November 1st, the St. George's branch of CGI, Consumers Guarantee Insurance Company Limited, will be moving to its new location at Steele's Commercial Complex, Grandance, St. George's. Our telephone and fax numbers will remain the same: 440-0217 and 440-6447. We apologize for any inconvenience caused by this relocation, and we look forward to serving you.
Welcome back to the news. The CIBC First Caribbean International Bank is commemorating its 100th anniversary in operating in the Caribbean and has marked its milestone through a tree planting ceremony at the Botanical Gardens today. We get more in this report.
Commemorating the centenary milestone of their parent institution, CIBC First Caribbean International Bank planted a tree in the Botanical Gardens on Thursday to mark the achievement. Country manager of the bank, Andre Cardigan, said this gesture represents physical and spiritual nourishment, contributing to the bank's efforts to promoting the concept of a greener earth. Cardigan says they believed that every seedling they planted is an investment in the life and the further well-being of the country.
Each sapling is a nod to those very first branches CIBC planted in the region back in 1920. But importantly, each one is a promise of life, of clean air and water, more stabilized hillsides and riverbanks, food security, assured habitat for birds, indeed all the reasons why we and the rest of the world are responding to the threat of desertification and drought with action.
Through their ComTrust Foundation, CIBC over the years has contributed to several environmental projects, including the restoration of the mangrove swamps in Grenada. This is one of the many projects planned by the bank as it transitions to new ownership in the coming weeks. Cardigan says the initiative involved 16 countries across the Caribbean.
This particular initiative has involved the planting of trees across all 16 of our territories and has been received with great enthusiasm, both by our partners in the various government and environmental agencies who we are working with and our staff and clients. We are encouraging others who wish to join in the effort to preserve our environment to do the same.
Partnering with the bank on its initiative is the Ministry of Agriculture. Trevor Thompson, Acting Chief Agricultural Officer, said his ministry is happy to be part of the event.
The ministry is always willing to work with our partners, especially the private sector, to advance the issue of agriculture, forestry, and proper land management as a whole. We all know the benefit of trees to our environment, trees to our lives, and the benefit of trees to nature itself. And And we want to ensure that this tree, as it's planted in the botanical gardens, will remain here, will be well taken care of.
The first Caribbean International Bank branch in the Caribbean was established in Kingston, Jamaica in 1920. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
And now it's time to take a peek through the GBN eyesore lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
This breathtaking burst of colors in the midday sky. So says our citizen journalist. Our eyesore reporter captured this phenomena in Tempe, St. George. This beautiful array of colors can be seen as a promise of hope during these hard times, and that's according to our citizen journalist. We thank our eyesore reporter for this breathtaking submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Stay with us. Up next, sports and around the globe. But first, the weather report and forecast.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Granville, and Central Deputy Street, Wall. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements? Or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Looking Looking for a professional team offering around-the-clock, private and confidential nursing, medical care, and aid services? Then look no further. Nurses Care Grenada is a fully certified, insured, and licensed healthcare facility committed to the reduction and eventual elimination of healthcare disparities affecting the nation. Our registered nurses will visit you at your home, assess your condition, and provide the required treatment under the directive of a doctor. So why worry when there's Nurses Care Grenada? Give us a call, 406-3928. Nurses Care, reliable, trusted professionals we can all depend on.
Now let's take a look at what's tonight's weather report and forecast. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy, windy and hazy with light to moderate showers. Winds will be east-northeasterly to easterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Tonight's minimum temperature 25 degrees Celsius. Seas moderate waves with 6 to 8 feet in open waters. Marine advisory remains in effect. Tides will be low at 10 p.m. and high at 4 a.m. On Friday, sunrise will be at 5:58 a.m., sunset 5:47 p.m. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy, windy and hazy with light to moderate showers, increasing in cloudiness with showers overnight. On Saturday, sunrise 5:58 a.m., sunset 5:47 p.m. Weather will be partly cloudy and windy with light to moderate morning showers. Looking ahead to Sunday, sunrise 5:59 a.m., sunset 5:46 p.m. It will be mostly fair, increasing in cloudiness overnight with light to moderate showers. And that's the 3-day weather report and forecast. Stay tuned. Sports is next. Good evening, sporting fans. Let's bowl off this evening with sports. West Indies were thrashed by Afghanistan by 56 runs in their final men's T20 World Cup warm-up game in Dubai on Wednesday. It's a rocky road for the Windies going into the game on Saturday against England without a win.
Afghanistan won the toss and elected to bat first against the West Indies, and it paid off. Runs flowed like water. Hazratullah Zazai and Mohammad Shahzad were filling their stomachs with boundaries from a feast tossed up by Ocean Thomas and Obed McCoy. They took the score to 90 before Zazai got out for 56 in the 9th over. And they never really slowed down. Shahzad followed with the score on 129. The three Windy spinners were largely ineffective. Only Hayden Walsh was able to grab a wicket on the day. Everything else went beyond the trees. Ramanullah Gurbaz and Najbullah Zadran finished off the work started by the top order, McCoy having a double strike before the end to remove both players. The returning Andrew Russell was also fit enough to bowl and take a wicket. Afghanistan reaching 189 for 5. In reply, Lendl Simmons and Evan Lewis did not get going. Mohammad Nabi accounted for both players. It was 3 for 27 when Shimron Hetmyer went. No time to warm up in the warm-up fixture. However, Ruston Chase had the right idea. He scored at less than a run a ball for his 54 runs or 58 balls, but it's what the Windies needed. Nicholas Pooran was more aggressive with his 35 off 28 balls as they tried to get some late runs. Pooran was gone with the score on 97. And the contest was a foregone conclusion when Russell was dismissed for 11 when they reached 129. The Windies stopped on 133 for 5. They lose by 56 runs to Afghanistan.
Still in cricket, David Wise's unbeaten 60 of 40 balls helped Namibia beat the Netherlands by 6 wickets on Wednesday in the T20 World Cup. Wise struck 5 sixes and 4 boundaries as Namibia reached 166 for 4 with an over to spare in Group A. The Netherlands had earlier scored 164 for 4 with opening batsman Max Odward getting 70 of 56 balls. Scott Edwards added 21 of 11 balls.
Netherlands were put into bat by Namibia in their first round World Cup T20 clash in Oman. Max O'Dowd starred with a bat for the Netherlands.
All the way for 6, short side of the ground.
Also coming good with a willow was Colin Ackerman with 35. But O'Dowd was the protagonist as he hammered the bowling to all parts of the park in his knock-off 70. Freiling took 2 wickets as Netherlands closed on 164 for 4. When Namibia replied, they got an opening stand of 34.
Offside. Couple of bounces into the boundary for 4.
But 3 quick wickets fell and the Namibians were in trouble. However, David Wieser and captain Gerard Erasmus played a major role with the bat.
Really good shot now.
Erasmus fell for 32, but Wieser went on to get an unbeaten 66. And in the end, a fortuitous boundary did the trick as Namibia reached 166 for 4 from 19 overs to win by 6 wickets.
And finally, Sri Lanka qualified for the Super 12 stage of the Men's T20 World Cup with a 70-run win over Ireland in Abu Dhabi. Wanindu Hasaranga hit 71 off 47 balls as Sri Lanka posted 171 for 7 and then took 1 for 12 from 4 overs as Ireland were bowled out for 101 in 18.3 overs.
Sri Lanka were put into bat by Ireland in their first round Group A clash, with both teams having won their opening matches. And the Sri Lankans were soon struggling at 8 for 3, with Josh Little doing most of the damage. Wanindu Hasaranga came to the rescue with a crucial 71. And so too did opener Patum Nisanka, who chipped in with 61.
Tried something a bit different, and he's going to get the rewards for it.
Sri Lanka eventually closed on 171 for 7, with Josh Little grabbing 4 wickets. When Ireland replied, they were soon struggling at 18 for 2. Make that 32 for 3 with Hasaranga striking. Captain Andy Balbirnie gave it his all while out in the middle with a knock of 41.
On the bank, surely, yes.
Mahesh Tikshana was lethal with the ball, grabbing 3 wickets. The Irish were no match for Sri Lanka, with Shamika Karunaratne taking the last wicket to end with 2. Ireland capitulated for 101 in 18.3 overs, giving Sri Lanka victory by 70 runs.
And that's it for sports. Regional and international news is next. And now let's take a look at what's happening across the region. Talks to free 17 kidnapped members of an American missionary group in Haiti are entering the 5th day. The gang responsible is demanding $1 million each for every one of the 16 Americans and 1 Canadian who were taken while returning to Port-au-Prince from an orphanage east of the capital. 3 children and 2 teenagers are believed to have been taken in the abduction, the largest of its kind in recent years. Al Jazeera's Manuel Rapallo reports from Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
Residents of Titania in the north of Port-au-Prince are reeling from the recent abduction of a group of Christian missionaries and their families. This health clinic is one of several public services in the community that have benefited from donations provided by the charity workers. Many here worry the kidnapping might mean that assistance from the missionary organization could come to an end.
We have not received any help now because they kidnapped the missionaries. Whatever happened, that is hurting us. It's affecting us a lot and it's hurting us.
Our arrival in Titanyan did not go unnoticed. Many locals were eager to share examples of how the charity group has improved the lives of community members. Since the kidnapping, emotions here are running high.
The government does nothing for us. Then we have a group of people who come to our community to help us, and this happens. We can't treat them like this. We are demanding their freedom. We demand that the national police do something fast.
This video, displaying an arsenal of firearms and munitions, was recently posted on social media by a group called 400 Mogozo, the criminal gang responsible for the abduction. The group has been blamed for some 80% of the kidnappings that take place in Haiti. The gang is asking for $17 million in ransom. With each passing day, the charity mission remains closed. Locals who depend on food donations and other free services are growing more desperate for assistance. While Haiti's national police declined to comment on the ongoing investigation, a joint effort with U.S. federal agents remains underway to free the 17 hostages. Manuel Rapalo, Al Jazeera, Port-au-Prince.
In other news, work is expected to begin on constructing a major gas-fired power plant in Guyana in 2022, on the expectation that 135-mile pipeline will be built. That's according to Dr. Peter Ramsarup, the Chief Executive Officer of Go Invest.
Guyana's new energy wealth has already made it one of the world's fastest growing economies, with the International Monetary Fund (IMF) forecasting gross domestic product expanding by 20% this year. In a move to capitalize on this newfound wealth and surmount the long-standing challenges of reliable electricity, Guyana intends to construct a gas-to-shore energy project. And with the oil giant ExxonMobil expecting to make significant progress over the next few years in Guyana, some 50 million standard cubic feet a day of gas from the company's Liza Phase 1 and 2 oil projects could be transported. And in an interview with Bloomberg while visiting Dubai and United Arab Emirates, Chief Investment Officer of Go Invest, Dr. Peter Ramsarup, said work is expected to begin on constructing a major gas-fired power plant in Guyana in 2022, on the expectation that a 220-kilometer or 135-mile pipeline will be built. Cheap and reliable power could open up economic opportunities for more manufacturing, agriculture and mining, which are vital if Guyana is to develop a diversified economy that can outlast its oil resources, Ramsarup said. And it was reported that the Go Invest head noted that Guyana is on the lookout for foreign investment that would help build hydropower generation, bridges and expand its agricultural land use. The country also wants to build a deep water port capable of exporting crops and manufactured goods for the region. Reporting for the newsroom, I am Vishani Raghaber.
And now let's move internationally. The World Health Organization, WHO, says the COVID-19 pandemic will go on for a year longer than it needs to because poorer countries are not getting the vaccines they need. Dr. Bruce Alward, a senior leader at WHO, said it meant the COVID crisis could easily drag it on deep into 2022.
It's the question we all keep asking. When will this pandemic end? Not as soon as it could is the answer from the World Health Organization because of uneven vaccine distribution across the world. There've been plenty of summits about vaccine donations to poorer countries, but the exasperation of WHO officials is clear to see. COVAX was the international program set up to ensure all countries, both rich and poor, could get enough vaccines to cover at least 20% of their population. But it hasn't worked out as planned. The vast majority of vaccine doses administered have been in richer countries. Africa especially has been left behind. A new analysis from a group of charities called the People's Vaccine Alliance shows the huge gap between what the world's richest countries have promised to give the poorest versus the number of doses delivered so far. The UK and Canada have been singled out for particular criticism as both countries acquired some vaccines from COVAX for their own populations, even though they had their own supplies. The UK stressed it had helped kickstart COVAX and was one of its most generous financial supporters. The Canadian government told us it's now stopped procuring vaccines from COVAX. The latest warning from the World Health Organization is that the pandemic will continue deep into 2022. It's urging pharmaceutical companies and wealthy nations to make sure low-income countries are now prioritized in the queue for life-saving vaccines. Naomi Grimley, BBC News.
And that's a look at what's happening regionally and internationally. Stay with us. We'll recap the headlines next. And now let's look back at what made the news this evening. SGU warns protesting employees that they could face termination by January 2022. Tourism Minister says tourists will enjoy bubble tours, but the unvaccinated Grenadian site operators will not benefit. COVID Committee Chairman Dr. Bert Braffith confirms resignation but keeps the reason private. Corporate lawyer Deacon Mitchell steps into the political platform, and Terence Forrester seeking leadership of the National Democratic Congress. In regional developments, negotiations continue over kidnapped U.S.-based missionaries in Haiti. Internationally, the World Health Organization warns pandemic will drag on deep into 2022. In sports, West Indies beaten by Afghanistan by 56 runs in their final men's T20 World Cup warm-up game in Dubai. That brings us to the end of the GBN Evening News for Thursday, October 21st, 2021. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. On behalf of the entire news team, I am Blossom Alexis Welsh, wishing you an enjoyable and thankful Thursday night.